The lipstick was a shade I'd never wear, too bold, too red, and far too obvious against the white sheets of our marital bed. I found it smeared on the pillowcase one Thursday afternoon, a scarlet question mark daring me to ask the question I'd never wanted to consider. My hands shook when I held it up to him after work, the silence between us thick enough to choke on. He barely looked at me before saying, flat and almost bored, "It's mine." At first, I thought he was deflecting, trying to gaslight me into thinking I was paranoid. But he opened the drawer on his side of the bed and pulled out a makeup bag I'd never seen before, full of lipstick, mascara, and foundation, shades that didn't match my skin. He stared at the floor, voice barely above a whisper, admitting he'd been sneaking out at night, dressing up and meeting strangers who knew him by a different name, a different gender, a life completely separate from the one we shared. Everything inside me wanted to scream, to demand how long, how many nights, how many lies. Instead, I sat on the edge of the bed, my mind racing with images of him, laughing with someone else, sharing secrets I'd never been trusted with. The betrayal didn't just sting, it burned because I realized every fight, every late night, every cold shoulder was him slipping further from me and deeper into someone else's arms, and maybe into his own truth. The real twist was that, as angry as I was, I envied him. I envied the boldness with which he'd lived a double life right under my nose, the courage it took to be someone else, someone more authentic. The lipstick in the bed wasn't just a symbol of cheating, it was a confession of the self he'd buried to be with me. I hated him for the lies, but I hated myself more for never seeing the cracks until the color bled through.